Compilation.
Wait, you can sell me for how much? 100 million?
Yes.
Because of my kidneys,
Yes. Everything.
organs.
Yes. Fine. And your eyes also can sell it.
So basically, I am with my shipping agent. She's been my shipping agent for several years. Like, I've literally known her since 2018. This is my 14th trip to China. So every time I come here, I'm just asking all these different questions because, I mean, that's just me. And so basically, they work really, 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 really hard. And so the conversation we were having was about like the people here that don't work hard. We're talking about that, and then we talked about going to Thailand together, like all of us. We're in another city right now, but we talked about going to Thailand, and she was like, it's not safe right now because basically they are kidnapping people. They want people's organs and things like that. And I'm like, I heard something about that in Vietnam from my nail tech. And she was like, yeah, we can't go there, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, so me being me is like, wait, what? I'm like, so how much you get for me? She said like 100 million. I'm like, wow, like that's insane. And I'm like, what do they want? So she said the organs, the kidneys, eyes, you know, and all of this stuff. And so I'm just like, wow, like that's crazy.
I'm a Black girl living in Thailand, and I want to have a little story time. I always get asked, isn't it dangerous traveling solo or with a child to Asia? But I want to tell you guys about the one time that I almost did get, and it wasn't in Asia. It was in Florida, United States. Most of you guys know I worked for a very long time at an airline. So me and my daughter would travel for free, and we've been to places like Hawaii, Australia, Florida many times. Just me and her. And I've never had an issue traveling by myself or with my daughter. But this one time, I decided to go to West Palm Beach, Florida, and we got a hotel room at the Holiday Inn. We were only there for a weekend because I had to go back to work. And so we spent most of our day out doing touristy things, spent the day at the beach and everything. We caught an Uber back to our hotel room from the beach, and there was a man standing outside of the hotel, right in front of the opening doors. They like automatically open when you walked up to the hotel. There was a host that stood at the door. They had like a podium where he would stand and greet people as they come in. And as soon as you walk through the automatic doors, to the left was an elevator. So I walked in with my daughter, got on the elevator. This man, he had just lit a cigarette. He put out his cigarette and comes and hops on the elevator with us. That's when I knew. It was like, I just got a feeling this didn't feel right. So when the man got on the elevator, he didn't put in a number. So I asked him, what floor are you going to? And he just hit any floor. He didn't say anything to me. He just pressed a number. We were on, let's say, the 7th floor, and it was time for us to get off the elevator. When we got off the elevator, he stayed on. I heard the elevator door close and immediately open back up. I looked behind me, and there he was. I grabbed my daughter and I started walking so fast, it was almost like I was running. And I did just like the movies. When I pulled out my card to open up the door, I dropped it. I looked back at him. He looked at me. I picked it up, hurried up and got in the room and closed the door. And he came and started knocking on my door. I was so scared. I immediately called down to the front desk and told them that this man was banging on my door and trying to get in. The hotel staff called security and came up to my room right away. They handled it perfectly. And when they confronted the man said that he was drunk and forgot where he was going. I told the hotel staff that I don't feel safe and I want to leave, and they let me check out without paying for another night. When I got back home from this trip, I heard about a man who had gotten arrested for snatching up females in that area, and it was the same guy. But this story goes to show that danger can happen anywhere. I've never had any of those experiences in Asia. Not to say that it wouldn't happen, but people say things like, aren't you afraid to travel? The most Scariest situation I've ever been in was that, and it happened right in the United States in Florida.
It can happen anywhere. The thing about going out the country, when you go out the country, people try to fearmonger you, like America not a crime syndicate. Oh, but that's not scary, but going out the country is to a location where things don't happen as much. It happened, but not as much. You get what I'm saying? I've been to Thailand before. I never had no crazy experiences like that as a man. Now, the first lady did. Well, her agent told her what goes on down there, right? This happened to this woman in Florida. This goes on. These are real topics to talk about. This really happens. In Atlanta, too. I've heard of the hotel workers actually opening guests' rooms and coming into the rooms.
All right, as an African American living in Thailand, I just had a weird experience, all right? Hear me out. Look, back there, that's a whole ass police stop. They're literally checking cars and flashing through the window. If you look foreign or you look a little fishy, they're pulling you out the car, all right? I had to walk past that to get to the market and get my dinner. Dog, back in the States, some people just literally like, I'm not gonna go walk through a police brigade, a police stop, whatever the fuck it is, to get through. I had to walk past at least 10 to 15 cops. None of them paid no attention to me. I'd had no walking while black incidents. Like literally no walking while black incident. Like this is one of the epitomes of why a lot of African Americans are coming out here, bro. Like I'm literally walking past them because I had to go right past them again to come back home with my shit. And I'm walking past them, bro, they got all white folks pulled out the car. They're checking them more than anybody. Like, look, shit's just different out here, right? Shit's different, and I like it. I can fucking walk around black and be fucking fine. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but it's reality.
It's not about you walking black. It's not like the police just gonna pull up on you, hop out on you, hey, freeze. That's not what go on in Thailand, bro. The reason those people were being stopped, despite what color they were, they're checking to see if they're drunk. The Thai police set checkpoints, at night especially, the sun going down, it's about to be night, for drunk drivers. That's what they do. And for people that are overstaying their visa on buses.
As a black person, why is traveling in Asia somewhat traumatic? Why? And I know some people are like, because you're not supposed to go there. Why are you there in the first place? Like, forget all your personal biases. But I've traveled to Asia so many times. I've lived in Asia, I've lived in Japan, I've lived in Singapore, I've lived in parts of India. I've lived in a lot of places. But I always seem to have like sensational experiences in a place. And just when there's like a turning point, something messed up happens. So I had an amazing time in the 10 days I was in Thailand. We did Thailand, Bangkok, we did Bangkok and Thailand. Guys, we did Bangkok and Phuket. We were supposed to go to Vietnam, but that's a whole nother conversation of like visas being denied. But we ended up in Phuket and it was amazing. And on our way to Phuket, I remember going to immigration and saying, hey, I have a ton of stuff that I don't wanna, I want my VAT receipts for, but I don't want to lose out my VAT receipts. And he was like, fine, I'll just stamp you now. And I was like, okay. I was like, and you are sure I can come back and get all my VAT? They said yes. They said yes. So he stamps all my items and then we fly to Phuket, we come back, and I'm leaving to, head home finally to the US. I go to the VAT counter and I present everything and I'm like, hey, here is all my forms. She's like, why was it stamped from a few days ago? I was like, oh, because I traveled to Phuket. I'm back. Here is I'm a receipts girl. Like I keep all the receipts because I've been burnt enough time in life to not have receipts across whatever the hell's happening. So I said, well, here's my flight itinerary. Here's literally my receipt from Bangkok to Phuket and Phuket back. Like you see the date I left, the date I came back. She was like, okay, let me call downstairs to see if they gave you that information. She calls whoever stamped me downstairs the first time, and he was like, yes, I gave that information. She proceeds to say, I can't accept this. I was like, I don't understand. What do you mean you can't accept? I haven't left the country, I'm leaving the country now, like I want my VAT. And she was like, no. She was like, you should have got it stamped today. I was like, no, I don't have to get it stamped today. That your team downstairs told me I don't have to get it stamped, so why are you lying? And then she starts screaming and shouting, guys. I'm gonna insert a clip but she starts screaming and shouting. So I start screaming and shouting, because one thing you're not going to do is shout at me and think it's going to be okay. But it wasn't just the fact that she was shouting. While I was in the line, there was this Chinese guy behind me, and he proceeded to touch me. I don't care about the level of fascination you have about black people. You have no right to touch anyone, let alone a black person. Stop touching us. Stop. So he touches me, and I flinched. I was like, what are you doing? And then he's pointing at my hair, and I'm like, what about my hair? He's like, can I touch your hair? And I'm like, no. And he still proceeds to touch my hair, and I'm like, don't touch me. So my husband's far away. So he then comes and he's like, what's going on? And I'm like, this guy's trying to touch me. These lot aren't trying to give me my VAT receipts back. He's like, but the guy downstairs says you can still get it back. My husband was there. So he's recounting what we were told. The lady's like, I'm not, she just starts yelling everyone. She's like, I'm not giving it back. And I was like, why are you lying to people then? And I was like, is it because I'm black? Because I look in the line and I'm like, I'm sure you won't do this to everyone else. And it sucks that it's about race, and it sucks that we get treated so differently. But it's don't tell people something downstairs if you're not going to give them the same information upstairs. And she's like, I'm the manager. There's nothing I can do. Yes, I'm being racist. Yes, I am being racist is what set me the hell off. So I start recording her, and she's like, you can't record, this is federal area, blah, blah, blah. I said, bring the police, let's go. I said, let's absolutely go. I said, between the harassment here and your harassment that I have on camera and you saying you're racist, let's go. Let's go. She obviously didn't call the police. She just kept on shouting, and I was like, well, I'm not leaving. I was like, we're gonna figure this out, because you called and validated what I said to you downstairs. You have absolutely no grounds to reject it, outside of the fact that you don't want to. Not wanting to is not a good enough reason. And my issue is I love Bangkok, and I think all the experiences I've had in Bangkok has been absolutely great. But this experience at the VAT area is always terrible. And I'm like, you don't do that to anyone else. You don't. And what made it worse was, while I was in the line, there was other kerfuffles at the front where they was telling the Asian person oh, they didn't get this stamp, but whatever, they'll just still process everything. So it's you're picking and choosing who you piss off. And now you nearly ruined my trip, but you didn't, because I don't let these things affect me.
Immigration is always like that. I'm gonna just say that. They pick and choose, and it depends on who you're dealing with. Anybody that has anything to do with immigration, stamping passports, anything of that government, service, worker field, I guess that's the best way I can put it. You're gonna get somebody good or you're gonna get somebody bad. Her saying that she's racist is wild, though.
What did piss me off, though, what did get to me is when I then landed in the US, and I have this big oversized Hermes bag, because I couldn't check it in, remember, because I thought I was gonna get my VAT. And one stupid ass guy from customs, one of our people from customs, was like, you come here. I'm like, oh, not today. And he's like, did you do some shopping? I was like, not really.
Did I say immigration? I mean customs, but y'all get the point. I really don't want to finish this video. It's not keeping my attention for real. Let me know what y'all think about this video. The first clip, if anything, is the craziest. I haven't heard nobody else have that experience out there. I don't want to paint Thailand like it's just this terrible place, this super racist place, because it wasn't when I went there. They were respectable, hospitable. You know, everything was all good when I went. But that was about 10 years ago. It could have changed. I'm not sure, but as many of our people, black people that's going out there, a lot of them, most of them, all of them, really, I don't hear nobody complaining. They're loving it. I just want to leave off like that. Let me know, have you had an experience or have you heard about them selling people's body parts to the black market?